micro chains in motion, scaling to the sky. Transactions lightning fast, are waiting in line. Watch them in the code, smart contracts ignite. Building dreams together, the future's in sight. Oh, rising higher, breaking every wall. The mirror's the fire, we're answering the call. The network's growing, it's time to take the lead. With every block we're showing, innovation's what we need. The future of the chain. We're breaking every limit. Yeah.
G Markets, guys, G Micro Chains. Welcome back to another exciting community hour. Once again, joined with Miss Jules and Ryan, our Chief Product Officer. G Markets, guys, how you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, Josiah? Hey, Jules.
Hi, Ryan.
Yeah.
G-Market G.
Yeah, G Markets. So many amazing things to talk about, right? And I really cannot wait to dive deep into it. But yeah, guys, first of all, linear markets, right? I think anyone that's just joining us, right, you must have seen linear markets, you must have heard of linear markets. If you've been in the community for like 24 hours, you would have heard about linear markets, and the focus is linear markets right now. And you might be asking, yeah, you can try out linear markets at the moment, right? So linear markets open beta is live. And, Ryan is here to give us a lot more details about some of the like really exciting things that is happening and that will be coming on linear market. But yeah, Ryan, so for us to start off, right, I'm sure we might probably have a couple new people, right? What's linear markets? Sort of like a quick, rundown of what we're doing here and what the focus is right now.
Definitely. Welcome, everybody, to another exciting community hour. Thank you, Josiah, Jules. Thank you guys for being here. As always, it has been a crazy couple of weeks since launch, of course.
Yeah.
If you are new to linear markets, we offer 1 to 5 minute binaries on crypto prices. Right now, what we have gone live with is Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, and there's 1, 3, and 5 minute markets on each. These run parimutuel, which is different than what you might see on some other prediction market applications where they use a CLOB or an AMM. Parimutuels are pure peer-to-peer pools. Basically, pick one side and the winners split the losing side proportionally to what they put in, right? No house edge, very simple, calculatable model. Everything happens on chain. We've already done over almost 3 million predictions on chain. It has been crazy over the last couple of weeks here, averaging about 20 transactions per second. So if you are new, hop in. There's plenty of activity to get involved with.
Yeah, Ryan, thank you so much. Right, thank you so much. So many exciting numbers, definitely. But yeah, guys, Ryan, just before you give us like a recap of week 2, because we're presently, running with the week 3 competition, right? So just a quick rundown, right? There were over 17,000 traders that joined the week 2's competition, nearly 3 million predictions made, over 30,000 traders so far. All right, and there's been like new rules to sort of strengthen the integrity of your leaderboard and your ranking on the leaderboard. But yeah, Ryan, could you walk us through week 2? So many exciting numbers here, and exciting numbers we'll still talk about. But yeah, how was
right.
week 2?
Yeah, so week 1, obviously we launched with just points for the leaderboard, right? Top 1%, 5%, 20%, and 50%, and then everybody got at least 50 points. This week 2, we finally launched with the USDC rewards on top as well for the top 10. Mm-hmm. So not only do we have the points continuing, we also introduced some new quests last week for week 2, and then obviously the USDC rewards are a big pull. So we had over 17,000 weekly active users last week, and that has already grown to 26,000. So that 17,000 number is actually from week 1. Wow. And then it's okay. I just got the updated data. And then week 2 was 26,000. So we are seeing a pretty big increase in our week over week. And our DAU, aka the daily active users, went from about 4,000 or 5,000 during week 1 as we were kind of struggling with some latency and site issues. As those who have been here are aware, the launch, obviously had its kinks. Now that we've pushed through those, we've been pretty steady state between 10 and 11,000 people making predictions every single day on the app. Now, for the new rules, for those who are in the weeds and already making predictions and interested in our ideas there, we made sure that anyone who was eligible for USDC rewards would have a linear role in the Discord, be involved in the portal, obviously be already eligible to get points and quests. And then, of course, they wouldn't have transferred any Gmic from other wallets in order to get a competitive advantage. It's very easy to see this. Fortunately for us, everything's on chain. So we've audited the leaderboard for week 2, and we'll be processing those payments by the end of the week.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. So yes, for those people that have sort of like asked questions about USDC payment and all of that, you've heard it from Ryan, real soon. So yeah, Ryan, week 3 competition is live, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's
Week
it's going
3
crazy.
really starting to expand. So for those who saw the new edition of Quest, listen, we know there are some people still obviously dealing with connection issues and latency on the app, depending on where you are in the world. It's not always as quick as it might be if you have the best connection at any time. And obviously there's VPNs and other things that people use to protect their browsing that we've been working through issues on. And then, of course, there were some bugs on our sides. But now pushing through all of that into week 3, we've finally gotten up to that really nice ratio compared to how many people were on the portal. 10,000 average daily active traders. We added that $1,000 USDC reward, as I mentioned to you all. And then obviously for the top 1% of traders, you can earn up to 1,000 portal points per week. Additionally, we put some new quests in. The biggest change was gold tier quests being introduced. Now, gold tier quests are meant to start to create this additional goal to try to reach towards for those who are willing to put in a little bit more time, effort, skill, and strategy. For a long time, we've kind of rewarded things symmetrically where you just needed to check in or you needed to complete a certain string of tasks that were kind of available to everybody. Given the nature and the competitive atmosphere that this app creates, we want to emulate that in our point structure. And the way that we've done that is by introducing quests that really target that top 10% of users. You'll see these requirements scale every single week compared to what the average predictor is doing, just so that we make sure it stays competitive and that there's a fair chance for everyone to differentiate themselves and hopefully position themselves better on the leaderboard.
Awesome. And Ryan, speaking of the gold tier quest, right? So I sort of added a separate slide so we could really talk about this and capture the fact that people have had a couple of questions around it. So if we could just go a bit more into the detail around the daily and weekly for the gold tier.
Totally. So there are some, like I said, additional quests introduced. We can get into the granularity of those now. So the gold daily, the normal daily is 20 prediction rounds right now, right? And we had increased that from 15 for week 3 to 20. Now, the reason for this is that right now, the average person coming on to make a prediction every single day is already doing at least 20 predictions. So this is kind of that checkpoint, right? If you can come in and just do 20 predictions, that's kind of that normal day for you, right? That minimum amount of engagement that we're expecting from people looking to earn points. Now, we introduced these gold ones to give you that additional thing to push for. So these two are getting up to 60 prediction rounds, which again is 3 times what the average person is doing. You get 3 times the points. Similarly, completing predictions totaling 150 Gmic. This number might also increase just seeing the raw activity that we're doing. For example, the median user is already doing 200 Gmic in predictions every single day. So we might need to scale this up depending on how that number continues to inflate. Obviously, you get 10 Gmic every single day in the daily faucet. So there is some natural inflation to this number as well that you'll see adjust. Now for the weeklies, we've kept things pretty much exactly in place. The idea is that you earn passive points per prediction, 0.1 for every, or 0.05, I'm sorry, predictions, points per prediction greater than 0.1 Gmic. I know I confused you with that, Josiah. I confused myself. And then additionally, we created a gold tier where you get 1 point for every prediction that you make above 1 Gmic. Again, this should theoretically set a floor where everybody is getting 1 point or 0.1 point per prediction, right? And then now, obviously, we have introduced this kind of daily check-in point where if you complete those daily quests, either for the 20 predictions, 4 out of 7 days a week, that gets you into the weekly normal tier. And then the gold weekly tier is if you get a perfect week. So all week you've come on and done at least 20 predictions every single day. Like I told you guys so far, the average user is already doing this. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out at the end of this week. And of course, I'll make adjustments as necessary to make sure that the app stays competitive.
Awesome, awesome. And Ryan, just to clarify something, right? So the extra quest is not just for the people within the gold tier, right? There are still extra bonus quests for people to claim portal points for people that are outside of the gold tier, which are some of the
Yes,
ones we discussed in the previous slide. Great. So
exactly.
for
Yeah.
those
So we introduced these new quests for both tiers, and obviously what we're highlighting here are the gold tiers, which push that up into deeper engagement levels.
yeah, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for clarifying, Ryan.
No problem.
Yeah, so there was like sort of a last minute update to the portal, right?
Yeah, I
So
can
and I can
highlight
see
this
from
really
here.
quickly. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
the
yeah,
idea
Ryan,
here was
please.
that I have seen it's a little bit of a weird UX to have to claim the tasks for predictions as we were doing it. So basically, you would upload them to the leaderboard, and then you would need to go back to the portal to actually claim the points. And some users were having a little bit of trouble with that, or if there was any bugs, it was really hard to follow. So what we've done is made this automatic. So basically, every single day, when the day rolls over in UTC timeframe, so it's around 8 p.m. In the East Coast in the US, for example, everyone probably knows their conversion, will automatically distribute the points for the predictions that you've uploaded to the leaderboard. And then every single day we'll run this again. So if you missed uploading something to the leaderboard, don't worry about missing the cutoff. We always will backdate and back reward all predictions. So if you have 3 weeks, for example, where you made predictions and didn't upload them to the leaderboard, once you upload them all, that next passive task will loop all of those in
Yeah.
and give you the points that you need.
Awesome, awesome. So sort of like a quick addition to what Ryan is saying, for the passive task, right? You don't necessarily have to always go to the portal to sort of claim those, right? Those are just get sent out, those points get sent out to you once you upload the trade to the leaderboard, right, Ryan?
Exactly. So what I would do is, like, while you're playing on the app, everything that you're doing is already earning points just because of
Yeah.
making predictions. And then when you're done with your session, whenever you're finished playing for the day, then you can go to the portal and claim all the premium market challenges or all the normal market challenges that are more meant to be when you're done for the day, right? It's a little bit better UX. And then obviously you don't need to claim every time you make a prediction, which kind of how
Yeah.
these passive ones were before.
Yeah, great. Ryan, I have I've seen a couple of questions around this, right? So it's still on linear market, but kind of like a bit of a detour, right? So I've seen questions around people saying they need clarification as to, what counts as a round or as a prediction, in terms of the fact that, what if I place maybe more than one prediction within, that particular market window, right?
Right.
And does that count as a single bet, or does it count as, multiple bets?
Right. Yeah. So the way that it works is it goes on a round basis. So for that market, let's say I was in a Bitcoin 1 minute market. If I placed 4 predictions on that 1 minute market, it's only going to count for one because we just aggregate everything, right? It would be kind of silly for us to reward the same amount of points per prediction as somebody who would put, 5 down versus somebody who would put 0.1 down 50 times, right? It's not necessarily the same thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. Yeah, so just quick clarification on the point system, because I've seen a couple of people, ask about this. You
Totally.
don't necessarily have to be in the top 1% to get, the 1,000 points, right? Even the top 5%, the top 20%, as long as you're even in the top 50%, right, you still get bonus points. So there's so many, opportunities, and even the bottom 50% get bonus points, right?
Yep.
So it's there are so many opportunities to sort of, get points, and you don't get to feel sort of edged out, right? Even if you're not quote unquote in the top, top 1% of traders, right?
Yeah, I just want to make
Anything?
a note that
Yeah.
I think the top 1% seems, it seems very daunting when you think about it, but then when you have
Yeah.
16 to 20,000 people playing every single week,
Mhm.
that really means the top 1%, you only need to get in like the top 200, right? So if you can get
Yeah.
into, that upper threshold, I realize how many points are being offered here, but I saw some of the cutoffs for GMic profit. And again, we're going to get the leaderboard live again with all of the standings for everybody so that you guys can see where you are. That was just an intermediate fix that I actually forgot to mention on the last call, but we'll have that out. I think by the end of the week, the leaderboard will be fully live again with pagination, and you guys can see where you stand. But you'll see these cutoffs are not that crazy. And maybe I'll actually even add in the cutoffs on the app for getting into each individual tier. That's a thought that I just had that could be fun.
Oh wow, that would actually
Yeah,
be
like maybe the
super
leaderboard
fun.
page, maybe the leaderboard page has like a quick little pop-up which tells you where the current cutoffs are. I think that could
Yeah.
be the day a little bit more encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, but for me, if I would see that, that would definitely push me to sort of make a lot more predictions to get within that cutoff, right? So yeah, definitely.
That's good to know. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, some key reminders, right? The one way to earn portal points right now is linear markets. That's the focus. That's the best way to earn portal points. We always talk about how to earn points on the call, bonus points, points based on your performance. And right at the moment, the top performers get to earn up to 1,000 points, and you get a share of the 1,000 USDC prize pool. And in addition to last week's points to this, there's an additional gold tier point, right? So if you're in the top 10%, right, you then get to possibly earn gold tier points or portal points. Ryan, is there any points related thing that I probably missed?
This is perfect. Remember that we'll continue to set those goals for the top performers to try to get to every single week. We'll make sure that it stays competitive, right?
Yeah, Ryan, there's a quick question I would like for you to sort of just talk about quickly. How much can earn maximum points?
Sure.
So I think he's asking if there's a limit for the amount of points that you can earn at the moment.
Yeah, so there's no technical limit, right? But the limits that you'll see are directly relational to these like theoretical ceilings, right? Like, of course, you can play every single prediction every single day and across all 9 markets, and I could divide that by 0.05 points and 0.1 GMIC, and I can calculate exactly the maximum points. And for those who are doing all of the engagement quests, like let's say you finish all of the engagement quests, all of the gold tier quests for the week, you can earn up to somewhere around between 500 and 600 points a week just from those tasks alone. And then obviously you have all the points available up to 1,000 in the leaderboard. I've mentioned this before. It's very important to me that I think the top half or maybe the top 20% of the leaderboard should make more points than people who are only doing engagement based. AKA, I think someone who makes more GMIC should get more points than somebody who goes on and puts 10 GMIC on both sides of the pool and never loses, right? So the idea is to actually create this incentive structure for top performers while not forgetting that adding liquidity to parimutuel pools and overall engagement is still very important to making sure that the markets are fun and engaging across, we run 6,600 markets every single day, and we've already run, like I said, almost 3 million predictions. So in order to get all of that activity, it can't just be trying to win and going for it all to get the number 1 position on the leaderboard. Everyone will blow up, right? Everyone will lose all their GMIC. Not everybody is obviously going to make it into that top 1%. But like I said, there's somewhere between 500 and 600 points up for grabs, regardless of where you are on the leaderboard.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. Just another quick one. I think this would make for a good, good clarification, right? So Anton is asking the top 1%, or he's saying the top 1% is mostly people who already have GMIC, right? So, if you could sort of clarify if that is sort of based on the profit you make for that week, or, he might be saying it as people that already have GMIC as opposed to, the profit that you make that week.
Yeah. So it's on your cost basis, right? So like, sure, if you put 1,000 GMIC down and double it and make 1,000 GMIC, you're going to make much more GMIC than somebody putting 10 GMIC down who doubles their GMIC, right? If we purely did it based off of like, let's call it ROI, which would be like a normalization factor, which would mean that there's no real incentive to have more GMIC. You have more incentive to make like higher ratios of rewards. The problem with leaderboards in that sense is that this isn't real money, right? Like, when you have ROI in place, people can deposit more money. They can, pull out money if they need to. They can manage their own bankroll. We obviously only have this faucet where every single day you get 10 GMIC. So we already are in this kind of ephemeral state where once you do kind of make that GMIC and end up in the 1%, I do understand that gives you an advantage in further weeks, but that's kind of the point, right? Like in real life, when this is on mainnet, the top 1% is going to be the people with the most USDC who are actually able to make predictions. So it would be, I think it would be a little bit disingenuous of us to normalize things when the reality is that the leaderboard in real life is going to be dominated in this resource way. Again, that's why I set up these 500 to 600 points that are available for people agnostic of where they end up on the leaderboard. So you could be in the bottom 50% of the leaderboard and still accomplish every single quest. And get yourself 600 points for that week, right? Which then again puts you right up there with the top 5% of P&L earners. Now, is it a shit ton of work to get all those quests? And did I make it that on purpose? Of course, right? That's the whole point. Thanks, Anton.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying, Ryan. So before we let you go, Ryan, just run down on some of the quick best practices, right? First is to always use one active window while trading. You need to understand rounds and understand that you're placing your prediction ahead of the next market, right? So that's where you lock in your prediction and you watch the next market. You upload trades at the end of your trading session, right? And that is what counts towards earning portal points. Uploading your trades are super, super important. And right now there is a benefit, and Ryan can sort of mention a bit about this before he drops from the call. But that button also serves as a resolve bet button that helps you to sort of resolve any pending trade, right? And you make sure you use the same login method for both linear market and your portal. And yeah, there are so many key details in pin messages on Discord. So Ryan, did I miss any of the best practices?
No, I think the last best practice I would put is to say, if you want to get all of the points every single week, because I see someone saying, oh, which should I do? Should I be good at trading or should I optimize for engagement? Basically, there is a way to do both, of course. Like, it's set up where the top 1% of people on the leaderboard probably already are accomplishing most of the quests, unless they got really lucky and did like a huge one-off bet, and that was the one that got them like plus 1,000 GMIC, right? On average, I think the people who are pushing deeper into the 1% of the leaderboard are probably the most skilled users of the app. Now that's really exciting to see very skilled users using the app. Of course, if everybody was losing GMIC all the time, I would say, oh no, maybe this app's too hard, or maybe this is too random, or something like that. But it's pretty clear that we have this top group who are starting to separate themselves. And hopefully those are the same people who can have an impact, when we go to mainnet as well. But yeah,
Awesome.
the moral of the story is the number one reward will obviously always go to the top users of the app. Those are obviously the it's kind of the point, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you for sharing a lot of insights into what's coming, and hopefully we'll have you back next week to share
Definitely.
a lot more with us.
Of course,
Thank you so
excited
much,
to give
Ryan.
you guys an update. We should probably be over 5 million predictions by that time next week. So super excited to give you guys next week's update. And any changes to quests for week 3, please pay attention to the Discord announcements channel for any upcoming changes. Thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you. Yeah, guys. Just to quickly, answer this from Uza airdrop 1, right? So the benefits to gold tier is that there are extra quests that you get to sort of earn portal points for, right? So even if it's sort of like an added opportunity for you to do a lot more quests, place a lot more trades, use or earn a lot more GMIC and earn portal points for that. Yeah, Miss Jules, are you there?
Okay, Jay.
Okay, awesome. So just
Ryan
back to the
said
regular.
next week we're aiming for over 5 million predictions.
Yeah, we're already at
Yeah,
3 million.
I think I agree with JB Rash. We should make that 10 million by next week.
Yeah, I don't know if Ryan can hear, but Ryan, we are going for 10 and not 5. And I think with the pace that we're going, right, 10 million is definitely by the corner. So super
Yeah.
exciting. When do gold tier benefits take effect? I mean, if you're already in the top 10%, you can already see the gold tier quest in your portal, and you can already earn portal points for those quests that are already in the portal. So yes, that's already active, it's already live, and if you're among the top 10%, you can definitely still get to earn those extra amazing portal points. So yeah, guys, back to the regular program. Community advisor roles are still live, right? Still active. You could still get promoted to become a community advisor. You could be a regional mod, you could be a newbie navigator, an ambassador, artisan, meme lord, and game lord. So all of these roles are still super active. We'll still welcome everyone to sort of contribute in ways, even outside of linear markets, right? In ways that they can, right? To sort of, support linear and all of that. And hopefully you might end up being a community advisor. And like we always mention, community advisor roles are not sort of ranked one above another, right? It's sort of like an umbrella of roles, right? So yeah, progress towards meme lord and game lord. Miss Jules, is there maybe an update at the moment to the to the meme lord leaderboard?
Um, yeah, shout out to Zero X Yan, who became a meme
Oh,
lord last week.
wow,
Um,
finally.
sorry, I think we were not able to update it on the slides. So,
Oh, that's
so
fine.
congrats, Sian. Thank you for always creating memes for us. Great memes, not
Awesome.
just any meme. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, OX. And I've seen a lot of your memes, and you definitely do deserve that. For the game lord, shout out to Kwong, right? Shout out to you for winning last week's tournament. 11th place, Veresh 1821. You're definitely the latest addition. And like I said, like I always say, right, for you to get your name off the 11th place Josiah board, just win one game tournament and you're definitely cleared, right? And your slate is wiped clean. Um, yeah, shout out to our community advisors. Shout out to Jahid, your recent newbie navigator. Shout out to Matiza. Shout out to Alex W. Right, for becoming an ambassador. You guys crush it, and you guys are always contributing. So shout out to you guys, and keep contributing and keep being amazing and supporting Linera and Linera markets as well.
And to add to that,
Yeah.
also shout out to Sian, who is
Oh,
on,
he.
yeah. As a meme lord, he automatically became a community advisor. So
Yeah.
congrats.
Shout out to you, OX San, for becoming a meme lord and a community advisor. Awesome. Regional tournaments are definitely still live, so you could still, the focus is linear market, but you could still sort of NXPs and level up your chains in Discord. That's still ongoing. Shout out to all the regional mods for helping with the regional tournaments, and yeah, shout out to you guys. If you're in a region and you want to sort of step up to help coordinate regional tournaments, you're definitely welcome. You can reach out, you can tag me in Discord, and I would gladly provide any support necessary to help you get started and get more activity going in your various regions. So was have still having poker this Friday for Friday tournaments, and what meant to have a new game on microchains, but that's close, and hopefully we're gonna have that game up and running very soon. But lots of people enjoy poker, and I think we get some of the best numbers when we play poker. So see you guys tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. UTC, same amount of XPs. And just to add to this, winning the first place gets you in the running to become game lord. So look forward to seeing you all join the tournament. Um, yeah, so regular ritual on the call where we get to ask a question and you get to earn XPs for that. And right, how we do it, in case you're new, is that it's sort of like a quick question. The first person that writes out the answer receives 1,000 XPs, 1,000 Discord XPs, right? So it's very, very separate from Portal Point, but 1,000 Discord XPs to sort of level up your chains. So I'll read the question in the next slide, pretty easy as always. And please, Miss Jules, in case I don't get to see the first person, just please draw my attention to it.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, the question is approximately how many predictions have been placed on linear market so far? Approximately how many predictions have been placed on linear market so far? So because this is so simple, you have to get the exact number. Yeah, approximately how many predictions have been placed on linear market so far? Um, wow, interesting. Miss Jules, I don't know if we're saying the same thing, but I can see a response from Jebin Raj. I can see a response from 505 Error, and from my end, I think Jebin Raj is the first to answer. Someone said 30.0000. Definitely not 30.000. But I think from my end, and I think when Miss Jules is, I don't know if she can hear me, but if she's back, she will definitely help confirm. But I think Jebin Raj is, the first place. But I don't know how what Miss Jules would say, but I feel generous, right? To say 505 error actually spelled out the entire number, right? So it's like 3 with all the 6 zeros. So definitely,
Yeah.
hopefully we can also give you XPs for that. And Jebin Raj, shout out to you as well.
Yeah, congrats, guys. Congrats. I can also
Yes.
see Debbie Rush and 505 from my own end.
Awesome, awesome. So XPs will go out to the both of you. Jabin Raj, we already know your Discord username. 505 error, please, let us
That's
know your
that's
Discord username.
that's the Discord username as well. 505 error.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, guys. So to quickly run through, content related, part of the community, creators are people who make content for Linera. And yeah, the content challenge this week was best practice tip. And you're battle testing the app. The app is debugging with your feedback. One helpful tip can make all the difference between frustration and success. Write a written tip, art, or meme on this theme. Submit all content directly to Discord. So this was around best practice tip for people that are using linear markets. um so the post topic from ambassadors Copeville, Leopard, Niza, Nico, Ola, OX Empire, Sinu, and you can see. So shout out to you guys for helping review. Cool video by Alex. Open beta is your chance to earn and help. Ooh. Wow, that was very cool. That was very cool. I hope you guys could hear the audio, right? So I'm sure I'm not the only one hearing it, but amazing stuff, Alex. Shout out to you. That's such a cool video. And sharing simple insights. Amazing. This is from ox.kong. Top tip: check pin messages first. Most issues are already known. Yes, and like we always say, thanks to our Gordon AI. If you're not familiar, Gordon is our AI in the community, and Gordon has helped to pin a lot of the best practice, a lot of the quick fixes that you might that would be very helpful to you, right? Whilst using linear markets, and even a lot of like best practices. So please, before you sort of maybe ask questions and all of that in the Discord, just try to see the pin messages, and a lot of those things have already been answered, so that just helps you and also helps helps everyone in the community as well. So yes, thank you so much, that's super helpful. Ox.kong. Akios, okay, that's a video. Cool, let's play.
When you're stepping into a prediction market, excitement can push you to bet everything right away. Resist that urge. Best practice, don't go all in on day one. Start small, learn the flow. Confusion kills profits. Keep it simple with 3 moves. Start small in beta. Test, track, and repeat what works, and report bugs early to gain an edge. Master these, and the market can way to change. That's how you stay ahead. Learn fast, adapt faster, win smarter.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. And just to add to what Akios said, right? There's a chart. There's a chart for you, right? And the chart is there for a reason, and the chart is there so you use it. So instead of sort of like just placing random predictions, right? Yes, it's just, or it's a two-way street where it's just up or down, but that's why you have a chart. That's why you can sort of see where price is going and all of that, to sort of make an informed bias and make an informed prediction. So yeah, thank you so much, Akios, for that. This is the second one, is by Beckhoff, who is an ambassador. Your history is lagging. Use the manual upload trades button to refresh your data instantly. Yes, like we said, there's an upload trades button. In fact, the upload trades button is very important, because that sort of allows your trades to get allows you to enter order points for your trades, right? And that button also works as a resolve bet button that helps you to if you have any pending prediction that you need to resolve, right, that gets automatically done done for you whilst using the same button. So thank you so much, Backbekov. Oops, a little too fast. Kadua, easy to follow, to claim easily, make bet on both higher and lower for the same time period. By Borch. To read the trend more clearly, use the RSI, MACD, and ATR on on TradingView. Simple tips for trading on linear markets. Cool, cool. Personally, I don't know if I would need to use my RSI or MACD on linear markets, but those are definitely helpful. Trading tips and all of that. And yes, like I said, the chart is there for a reason. If you don't like to use the line charts, there's a candlestick chart that you can definitely explore to make informed predictions. Yeah. Ooh, congrats to you, Jabin Raj, for reaching level 40. Road to road to platinum chains. Shout out to you. Um, more amazing content. This is by Crypto Julie. I think we have a video. Oh my god. Yeah, don't use all your GMAC, guys. At least not for your first trade. Because you do not control the market. So yeah, definitely. That's a very helpful, that's a very helpful tip, Crypto Julie. Oh my god. By Piccolo. Smart routine. The right mindset is treat this as a strategy lab. Test your market reading skills, risk management, and timing. Don't just chase weekly rewards. Focus on long-term accumulation through portal points. Absolutely, and this is definitely what my advice would be. Right? Don't just jump into the trade. I know it's testnet. You're not using real money, but you would always want to fine-tune your strategy towards mainnet. Right, and so when you get to mainnet, you definitely know how to navigate the markets. Right, so definitely very very helpful and informative. Linear market competitions by entire, very helpful intro. New go tier quests, new weekly quests, daily quests, and 1,000 USDC price. Yes, that's spot on. Entire week 3 is live with the new quest and the same 1,000 USDC weekly prices. Yeah, guys, so like we mentioned, thank you entire, but like we mentioned earlier in the call, right, there's so many opportunities for you to earn rewards, right? You could earn a share of the 1,000 USDC. You could earn daily quests. So there are daily quests that you could, daily linear markets focus quests that you could, join and earn extra bonus points. There's a week new go tier quests, right, for this top 10%. So in case you missed it, right, earlier in the call, we mentioned the fact that there's a new go tier quest for top 10% of traders, right? And they get to do some extra daily tasks and weekly tasks to earn extra portal points. And beyond all of this, right, joining the competition, being in the top 50%, you earn over a 50, a 50 and more, portal points. So yeah, so that's definitely very helpful. Entire. This is by Sinu, an ambassador. Nearly 25k traders in the leaderboard. So for Sinu, just quick clarification, like Ryan mentioned, at the moment we have, about 30,000 traders already so far, right? And it's about 3 million bets so far, right? And over 5 million GMAC in total volume. Average bet is just 3.67 GMAC. So that's spot on, Sinu. Although, there are some latest updates to the numbers there. So yeah, also thank you for capturing that, Sino. Copeville, linear markets by Copeville. Linear markets introduces high frequency crypto prediction markets on BTC, ETH, and so, with 1, 3, and 5 minutes rolling rounds, instant settlements, parimutuel payouts, built for continuous real-time participation. Spot on. That's absolutely correct, Copeville. And nice to see Mox Mox skating. By New Era, I think that's a video. Let's see.
In open bet mode, users can connect a wallet on the Liner Market website, automatically receive free JM in-game currency, and make high-low predictions on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana in 1 to 3 or 5-minute intervals. Go on. Thanks to microchain technology, Liner Markets ensure sub-second settlements and near instantaneous market resolution, even under high load. Participants compete in weekly leaderboards, earning portal points, which will increase rule multipliers on mainnet in the future.
Cool. Cool. Um, Thank you so
His
much,
voice
Niera.
sounds like Ryan.
You said
I said that voice sounds like Ryan's voice, but I know it's AI.
I was about to ask if that was Niera's voice because um there's a question here, right? Okay, thanks. Where can we submit our content link to get our content reviewed. Miss Jules, do you want to maybe say something about this, or do you want me to just respond to this?
Please respond to.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so there's a channel in Discord, right, where you can, submit your, so there's a general, content challenge channel in Discord where you can get to submit your content, right? So, and right now the focus is submission in Discord, right? So, once there is, a clear path towards, posting on X and all of that, we're definitely going to give like a directive around that. But yeah, there is a channel in Discord, right? And you can go to sort of, put in contents that you've created related to the weekly theme, right? The theme for that week. So I hope that answers your question, Drizlo. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, so moving forward, guys. Miyoku. Oh, lots of videos. Okay. Cool. Cool. Thank you, Miyoku. Fino. I think this second one is from Fino, I believe. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Thank you. That's sort of like a quick demo for those that might be, new to linear markets. Thank you so much. I think that was from Fino. This is from Keith BM. Cool, 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 cool. I think this is from Recog. Excellent. Welcome, linear markets. Awesome, awesome. I think I saw a question that I want to quickly um I'd talk about. Yeah, so Subham Kumar asked, what is pro tip for making every prediction green? So the first thing is you can't have all your predictions green, right? And besides, the way linear market is structured, green, the markets could end in green, or could end upwards, and you could still lose a prediction. But the point is, you definitely cannot win all the predictions because you do not control the markets. But one of the pro tips I would say is, do not risk all your entire, GMAC balance on a single trade, right? Or on a single prediction. And like I mentioned earlier, the chart is there that you can use the chart to sort of, know what direction you think the market is going. And that's why, if you, there are so many, there's the 5 minutes, the 3 minutes, and the 1 minute. You pick a time frame that is more suitable for you, right? And then you definitely, get to see the chart and know how to place your predictions. But like I said, there is no magic wand to make all your predictions great. Yeah, if someone sells a magic wand for that, I'm ready to buy, right? But yeah, I hope that answers your questions, and your question, and helps a bit. um Arts, topics: Anavi, Diana, Neutron, Koala Peace, Fiatoslav, and Totosha. Sahil, best practice tip: start with the basics, by Nico. Oh, and shout out to Nico, whose art was used as a thumbnail this week. Shout out to you. Best practice by Cyber Moon. Stop the frustration. Error disconnected. Best practice tips. Yes, see the pins in main charts. Like we always say, guys, there's pin messages in main charts that's definitely going to help you to see what works. And yeah, Mox is definitely holding that for you to see clearly. Best practice by 505 Error. Nasi, Karasik. Wait 30 seconds until transaction window appear for signing. Great, useful tips. And yes, that's very, very helpful. So especially if you're, signing in, like say for the first time, in a while, right? Just make sure you ensure that 30 seconds or even less than 30-second window for the transaction to pop up on your wallet, and then you can sign the transaction. So yeah, definitely very helpful. Nasi, amazing, amazing art. Um by Karasik. I don't know if that's Mark's saving saving. I don't know who that is from falling, but yeah, definitely. So use the best practice tip, right? Like everyone is pointing to with the art. This is by Moby, Jupiter, and Kingsman. 1,000 USDC price pool. Best practice tip: claim daily GMI can keep the streaks. Yes, amazing. Small tips, big wins. Awesome, awesome. This is by Daria, Nos Dosunets and Joss, Ganpat, Swans, and Van Dief. Oh, amazing, amazing. Hand drawn, I believe. And nice to see Mox. Nice to see Mox as always. This is by Ohim, Anitoch, Kokosik, Kukila, Aliska, David. Awesome, awesome, amazing. Amazing Mox art as always. Right. Shout out to you guys and thank you for creating amazing art. Glacha, Hemion, Wikipix. Shout out to Wikipix. Aliska, Duxie, Vertex. Cool. That's cool. The Mox in a sort of witch costume is very, very funny. But yeah, nice Mox swag, guys. Amazing, amazing. And nice linear headphones. That would be so cool. Novelty. There's a topic. So I think that's a video. This is by Baba. Oh my god, I don't know if it's just or that, but I'm definitely watching this again. Guys, forgive me. I need to see this one more time. Oh my
That's so
god, that was
funny.
so
I
that's
wish
so
I can
funny.
dance like that in real life.
Oh my god,
Uh,
Bavon, please, I need that song that was playing in the background. Please, tag me in Discord and I definitely need to hear that. That sounds so, sounds like so much fun. Um Meme challenge, guys. Miss Jules, would you be able to, talk us through the
please
meme
go for
challenge
it
quickly?
too.
All right, definitely. So this week's meme challenge was still based on the the theme, the content theme for the week, right? Which is the best practice tip, and it was reviewed by the meme lords. Shout out to all the meme lords for showing up, and helping review the memes. Captain Matthew, shout out to Captain OG Meme Lord, Mandy Udo, 27, Johnny Calconi, Potato, Michael Lau, and Juvie and Franz. Shout out to you guys for helping helping review the memes. I'm sorry, I cannot get the previous video out of my head. Please, like I said, Bavan, please definitely, reach out to me. And I would really love to hear that song. But yeah, back to the memes, guys. Back to the memes. This is by Trando. Have you completed 15 bets? And she says, yes, I was very lucky. And he says, where? And she says, on the portal. Guys, here's the thing. I think 15 bets is kind of like the average right now. So I mean, lot. In fact, everyone I believe is already making a lot more than 15 predictions on the market in a day, right? So, and like Ryan clarified, and I would also like to clarify, right? Like it counts as it counts when the market settles, right? So when the market settles, that counts as one prediction, right? So for those that maybe want to hedge the market or something like that, at the end of the day, it still counts as a single prediction to the leaderboard and to the portal. But yeah, thank you so much, Trando 97. This is from Michael Lau. Press up, up, down, down, left, right, bar, enter to unlock God mode in Lidera markets. Oh my god, this reminded me of when. And guys, by the way, please, drop your ratings, right? So get to see what you rate the games. But this reminded me of when I used to always to play video games. And I used to play Mortal Kombat for those that are like familiar. And you have to. But this is very funny. Michael Lau, thank you. Amazing meme. I'll probably rate this like an 8. It's definitely. Yeah, I think 505 remembers. It looks like a cheat code from my childhood video game. Yes. So for those that play a lot of like, video games, right? And there are a lot of like skill moves or cheat moves that you can make, right? And you have to memorize those moves. But yeah, nice one, Michael Lau. Johnny Calconi. I think we have a video. Money remembers. Oh my god, this is my 10/10 this week, but yeah, it's oh my god. Johnny Cody, that's definitely such a good meme, right? Like, and honestly, like I felt the same way when I first made like like my first 3 successful predictions, right? And I felt like, oh my god, I wish it was real money, but it's definitely testnet. So, um, Juvio. Oh, and shout out to Juvio. I think Juvio is one of like the top players on the leaderboard. So shout out to you. Oh my god. Oh my god, Lucky. Oh my god, that was so cool, Juvio. Definitely. And yeah, locking, that's the last thing I took from that meme. Definitely a like this is a 9 for me. Right. That was very funny. That was cool. Yeah, Coldplay song. Cool one, Juvio. This is from Anton. Tip, stay focused, avoid distraction. Open straight during wedding night. Oh my god, this is probably like a 9.5 for you. Jimmy Rats says sell kidney to buy GMAG. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it. Right, if I lose all my GMAG, maybe maybe I could just sell my kidneys. Right? Please don't do that. But yeah, definitely. Nice meme, Anton. Stay focused, avoid distractions, and you definitely need to use linear markets even on your wedding night when you could be doing a lot of other things. ZTDP1. I think that's a video. Yeah.
There were
Me explaining linear markets.
people right there. Take a deep breath, Kyle.
Oh my god. By the way, guys, like I always say, do not use all your entire, GRAG balance to to place your trade. Guys, definitely do not do that. Thank you, ZTDP. That's such a cool meme. Yeah, that's it for the memes, guys. But next week, or the new content challenge for from today running into next week, is this is Parimutuel, all right? And when with linear markets, your prediction flows into a pool. Odds adjust as the pool updates. The pool closes, race begins. Then the winner splits the pool proportionally after any admin fee. This is Parimutuel or pool betting, like in horse racing. Create a post, art, or meme on this theme and submit all content directly to Discord. So yeah, guys, this is the content challenge for next week. This is the oh sorry, one second, guys. Anton, I think this video was this meme was created by Anton, right? So Anton, my bad. I would quickly, make the correction here and give you full credit for your meme. Yeah, Anton. Apologies, boy. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to you for that. But yeah, guys. So, like I said, the focus for next week is, or for this, from later today up until next week is this is Parimutuel. Create content around this, post, art, or meme, and definitely submit your content in Discord. And yeah, it's going to get reviewed and hopefully gets featured in the community hour, and then you get to receive XPs for that. But until then, thank you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Miss Jules, and Ryan. And yeah, I don't know if Miss Jules has any final words, but if not, I think
Thank
yeah,
you,
we're
Jay.
definitely yeah. Thank you so much, Miss Jules. We're definitely right on time, and we'll see you guys next week. But until then, use linear markets, enjoy it, make fun predictions, and hopefully rise up the leaderboard and claim Porto points. See you next week.
Join Linda at first. Thank me later.